What's good, you guys? Titty Striker here, and UFC NOCHE is this Saturday. I'm pretty excited for this card. There's a lot of hype. There's some pretty good fights on there, and in this video, I want to talk about the main card. I'm going to be giving my predictions for all the fights except for the main event. And my prediction for the main event is going to be dropping this Friday, so make sure you guys tune in for that. And if you haven't, make sure you guys go see how Merab could potentially beat Sugar Sean O'Malley. But with that being said, let's get right into this main card. And the first fight on there is going to be Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osbourne. And I'm going to go with Ronaldo Rodriguez. Ode Osbourne, he's kind of a, like, with all due respect, he's like kind of a 500 fighter in the flyweight division. He, like, basically he'll like win a few fights, then lose, win a couple more fights, then lose, win a couple more fights, and lose. And I think that in this case, he is going to lose. I don't think that he has enough finishing ability to really put a guy like Ronaldo Rodriguez in danger. Whereas Ronaldo Rodriguez, he's got a bunch of finishes, a whole bunch of submissions, a whole bunch of knockouts. And we've seen Ode Osbourne get finished several times in the UFC. And I just don't know where he's at in his career right now. I think Rodriguez is a lot closer to his prime. He might be a lot more hungry. Because, you know, this is his second UFC fight, and he is of Mexican descent, and this is on a Mexican-based card. So I think that he's going to be even more motivated and hungry to win this fight, and I think he's going to finish Ode Osbourne by submission in the second round. But then we got Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. Might butcher that, but I think that Daniel is going to win this fight. I'm not going to say his last name. I think that he is a great striker. He's a long-range striker. He's quite tall. He's able to, use his jab really well, use some front kicks, use some pokes to keep his opponents at the range that he wants. And, Esteban, he's got some KO power. Obviously, he knocked out Terrence McKinney with that fast combination where he threw like a head kick basically in the pocket, or as Terrence McKinney was leaving the pocket. And that's something you don't really see. You usually just see exchanges with punches happening. So he was pretty clever to catch Terrence McKinney with that. Maybe he saw something in his game that saw that maybe he dropped his hand when he was leaving the pocket, and then that made him throw a head kick. But either way, I think that Esteban is gonna, or Daniel is gonna be able to keep him at a good distance, use his reach. He's going to be able to mix takedowns when he needs to. He trains at Extreme Couture. Those guys have great wrestling. And in some of his other fights, I feel like Esteban has been taken down kind of easy. It didn't have that much resistance. So in case he gets too close or the striking isn't working too well for Daniel, I think that he's got that to fall back on. And again, I think that he's going to be hungry. He is a Mexican. He's gonna have that extra motivation of fighting basically in a home sort of scenario. Even though it's not quite Mexico, but it's kind of close to it. So I think he's gonna win by decision. And then we got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. And yeah, this fight was supposed to happen way back in June, but Brian Ortega, he had some problems with his weight, I think. And then Danny Ye stepped up on a day's notice. And that was an incredible thing for Danny Ye to do, save the card. But now we got this fight rebooked. And I think this fight is going to be the fight of the night. I think that both guys are going to put on an exciting fight. And I don't think either guy is really going to be able to finish the other. I think that they both got excellent jiu-jitsu. Maybe I'd favor Brian Ortega because he's been at the highest level for a lot longer than Diego Lopez. But Diego Lopez, he's got solid grappling as well. But I think that we are going to see some grappling exchanges, but no one's going to be able to secure some control time. They're going to be scrambling a lot and creating some exciting moments on the ground. And then, getting back to their feet, I think that it's going to be a striking match. And, Brian Ortega, he did get dropped by Yair Rodriguez. He got pieced up by Max Holloway and Volkanovski. But being there with those high-level strikers, I mean, you got to take something away from that, right? You got to implement something from those fights. And those lessons you learned in those losses, and I think that could potentially benefit him. I think that he's not going to be facing a guy as fast as Volkanovski, as a guy who's got the volume of Max Holloway or the unpredictability of Yair Rodriguez, and I think that that's going to help him deal with Diego Lopez on the feet a bit better, and not allow him to get finished. But hey, if Diego Lopez does finish Brian Ortega, that's crazy, because Brian Ortega is one of the most durable featherweights of all time. But yeah, and on the feet, I don't think that Brian Ortega is going to be able to really stop Diego Lopez. We haven't really seen any signs of Diego like getting hurt. We have seen him like sort of slow down in the third round, but not really get like hurt with punches. So I think it's going to be potentially the fight of the night, and I think that the winner of this fight is going to be Diego Lopez by decision. And now moving on to the co-main event, we got Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso 3. And first of all, I thought Valentina Shevchenko should have won their second fight. I thought that was pretty clear. I think that she won round 1, 3, and round 4. In round 5, like Valentina was literally dominating the fight for like 4 minutes, and then in the last minute, Alexa takes her down, and she like hits her a little bit with a couple shots, and then they give that a 10-8, and that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, sure enough, Khamzat versus Usman round 1, I can see why that's a 10-8. Usman didn't really have any offense. He got controlled, dominated. He didn't do anything. But Shevchenko was dominating that round up until the last minute, and then they gave that a 10-8. So, like, there's clearly something fishy going on with the judges. And given that it's basically like UFC NOCHE again, in a similar place where they want Alexa Grasso to win, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another close fight and then they give it to Grasso. But I think that Alexa is going to win cleanly this time. And the reason why I think that is because in the last 2 fights, I think that Valentina has shown some signs of mental fatigue potentially, because she's made like several mistakes that cost her the fight. Like in the first fight, I think that spinning back kick from too close and then losing. And in the second fight, leaving the pocket with her hands down as she was taking an angle and breaking her base, which led Alexa to drop her. And also like that takedown, like she made several takedown mistakes where she rushed for a submission and then got reversed. So I think that Alexa is going to be making more adjustments. Valentina has been saying she got robbed, and I think that Alexa Grasso will have made more adjustments, but I do think that Valentina is a better fighter, but I got Grasso winning by decision.